Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now today is Sunday, so you know what that means. We're going around the net with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. So on the docket for today, don't let the shortened holiday week fool you. We don't keep bankers hours because we've got Discover its 5X categories for the new quarter. We have some news that's interesting and both saddening from the PayPal camp, and we have the story of the week. Venture X finally turning to the dark side, limiting lounge access or removing guest passes. We will break down all of it. So of course, if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Of course, yes, see, we are back in uniform. I know some of you guys were concerned that we had a different shirt, different black shirt. I just needed the other one. I needed a Memorial Day sale so I could replace the other one with a smaller, better fitting one. It might be too tight now. I don't know. It's definitely sexy enough. So you guys can let me know. Or just the girls who watch. I hear there's 2 girls who watch this show exactly. Might even be a mother-daughter combination. So dear Penthouse Forum. Anyways, back on track. Here we go. With the news, starting with Discover, their categories are out. You know the deal, they released them a month in advance. So Q3, you are looking at gas stations and EV charging, public transit, and utilities. Of course, that's going to start July 1st through September 30th. Yes, you have to activate them on every single card. You can activate them now. And of course, it is still up to $1,500 in spend. Overall, I mean, not much to say. I like the categories. As for me, I don't have a utilities card since I swapped out the Cash Plus into the Smartly card. So yeah, I could use it for that. Of course, with utilities, you always got to be careful what codes. Gas, EV charging is fine. Again, we won't know if anyone is really outraged until we see what chases are in about a week's time, give or take. So we'll probably have that next week, depending on how the dates break and how the taping works. But either way, I'm not mad about it. I'm sure someone will be mad about it because everyone's always mad about something. But these category cards, I just kind of look at, hey, if it's helpful, great. If not, no big deal. So what could potentially be helpful, probably not, but could potentially be helpful is PayPal. Because PayPal put out this tease press release about a new credit card coming. So of course, they have a business card, they have a personal card, and weirdly enough, they have a very competitive debit card that does give you 5% back on a category that you choose. So take that, Discover. So here's what we have from the land of PayPal. PayPal credit card coming soon, right on the nose with the T's. But with the PayPal credit card, enjoy no interest if paid in full in 6 months on qualifying travel purchases posted to your account by January 31st of 2026, plus enjoy special financing on purchase of $149 or more, yada, yada, yada. Cool. So there's no details other than that. So they're clearly positioning it potentially as a travel card because it's the financing piece only comes into play on travel purchases. Now, we don't know what in their world is going to code as travel or not. I assume the mainstays, airfare and hotels will, but what else will? But I guess I don't know what else you'd really want to finance. Cruises, I don't know, a Disney cruise, how far are they going with it? I don't know. So anyhow, I also don't know if they're going to have any multipliers with it. I'm going to guess not. I think this is just be PayPal saying, hey, look, we're doing what we do. We're going to, they've always been pushing the PayPal credit and the PayPal financing. And I think it's silly, but again, you can probably get a lot of people to sign up for this and be able to get a financed vacation because it's going for quite a ways. I'm just basing it on the local news always has stories about how to travel and save this summer, and so maybe it's a big thing's going on. The obvious way to travel and save is just don't go if you got to finance it, as we all know. So I would hope they'd have multipliers on here again, especially considering how good the PayPal debit card is, which was already an existing product that they just decided to make good because they've had the PayPal debit card forever. Then they added 5% to it randomly. So on one hand, I'm like, you're clearly capable of making this a good product. But I don't know if they're going to. Again, we just don't know. It's too early to pass judgment. But considering what they're leading with the no interest thing, I don't think it's going to have a lot of tricks. Even the PayPal credit card's not that good. It's okay, but it's not that good. So we'll see. I love new credit cards, so we'll see. New options are good. But the game giveth and the game taketh, and boy did they take. So back to PayPal, sticking with PayPal, I should say. PayPal Bill Pay. You're probably more familiar with it if you follow the second channel run on the bank where we talk about bank promotions. PayPal Bill Pay is what the name suggests, a way to pay your bills using PayPal. But you could basically, you couldn't pay with a credit card, but what you could do was you could pay your credit card bill, Bank of America, Wells, Citi, Chase, you name it, by putting in your debit card into PayPal and then paying the bill. And that comes in handy for people like us because actually right before this, I just taped a video about First Tech Federal Credit Union. It's over on the profitablecontent.com if you want to see it. We'll have a video in the coming weeks. Obviously, I just taped it. But part of that intro offer or new checking promotion is to spend, you could get 5x back on the debit card up to earning $200. So that's like $4,000 in spend. And you got to do it within 30 days. But of course, the clock starts when when you open the account. So really like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks probably. Well, that'd be really easy with PayPal Bill Pay because you load in your First Tech debit card and you pay off your Bank of America card, your Amazon, or whatever it may be. And so again, you've earned your points on your credit cards. You didn't spend any money on a debit card. You can see how this works. Well, that's a long-winded way to explain it and say that it is no more. Now, PayPal Bill Pay still exists because you can pay other bills, but the credit cards are gone. So the Dr. Credit Report, he reported this on June 4th. It says it's fine. A few days ago, they finally removed all credit card payees, even those that had been previously saved. He said, rest in peace. Now, again, I think only I really care about this, so we're not going to... Well, I mean, we've probably already belabored the point more than most people care, but I would assume the banks called up and they said, hey, take us out of this, because they were slowly being removed. And I think the reason being is it does technically hide, it's a way to hide how you're paying them, and they don't like that. It is a level of risk. I want to know the source of the funds, and if you're taking a credit card, it could be stolen or whatnot, and you're putting it inside of basically a PayPal wrapper or a mask, and sending it to me. I just don't want to be a part of that. And I don't need to be a part of that. And I think that's what happened. They eventually all just wanted to be taken out of that. Or, PayPal also didn't love it because that's where you see the most of the spend goings. PayPal has had a lot of good features that I think we have ruined. PayPal Key was good. PayPal Bill Pay. I'm waiting for the PayPal debit card to get cut. So PayPal's doing good stuff. I think we just do what we do and ruin it. So anyhow, pour one out for PayPal Bill Pay. I'll move on to stories that more than 3 of you care about now. Many of you care about Hyatt, like to a ridiculous degree. So you'd probably be intrigued to know that Hyatt is adding a new property brand underneath their catalog. So this is from the Points Guy. He says, another day, another new hotel brand. Hyatt has announced the launch of Unscripted by Hyatt, part of the company's Essentials portfolio, which consists of Caption by Hyatt, Hyatt Place, Hyatt House, Hyatt Studios, and Your Cove by Hyatt. Okay. So according to the company, Unscripted by Hyatt is an upscale brand designed for travelers who value the essentials and prefer spontaneity over structure. The brand will offer flexible collection style approach where each property reflects its own identity and local flavor, yet remains unmistakably Hyatt. I don't know what any of those words mean. Like, I want unscripted spontaneity within my hotel. So it's like one room has a bed, the other one has a sleeping bag, and maybe we just got a cot in one. Like, I don't know what that means. But I don't go a lot of places, so maybe you guys know what that means. It sounds fun, but I don't know, because those things don't go together. We want unscripted but upscale, designed for travelers who value the essentials and prefer spontaneity. I don't know, if you value upscale, but you also value the essentials, I don't know what we're doing here. Long story short, it's another brand. We'll see what the redemptions come out to. People love Hyatt, so I think it's fine. But if you know what that marketing speak means, maybe I'm just being dense. I don't know. Let me know down below. But if you're not a Hyatt fan, you might be like me and be a Marriott fan for no other reason. I don't really have a reason for it other than, when I first started doing business travel, the guy I was assigned to was like, we stay at Marriott's and that's it. And I was like, okay, great. And now I'm a Marriott person. Well, if you have the Brilliant card and you put quite a bit of spend on it, well, then I have the story for you, because it looks like they are adding another one of those, what they call them, perks, where you spend some choice benefits. That's what it is. So if you take a look at this from Upgraded Travel, So new Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant cardholders who hit 60K in a calendar year in spend will be eligible for a new Earn Choice Award option. So the options, let's see, once you hit that spending threshold, you could do 5 nightly upgrade awards, 1 free night award valued at up to 85,000 points, $1,000 off a bed from any Marriott retail brand. You got to really love Marriott to want the bed there. And of course, 50,000 Marriott points. That's the new one. I'm just giving you the rest of the options that you could choose from. Now you can just straight take the cash, which I guess would depend on how you value Marriott points. Anytime I say I like Marriott, you guys tell me the points aren't worth anything. That's fine. It's cute that you think I have Bonvoy points to redeem. I'm just paying cash. Like, the points value irrelevant to me. But even me, I still think 50,000 points is probably not the best option. I mean, clearly the 1 free award night is valid at 85,000 points. It's a higher value unless you were just going to go with that. I'm going to get a bunch of more nights at like a Fairfield Inn or something. I could see that argument. Who are we kidding? I'd probably take the 50,000 points. There's better ways to spend $60,000, but if you do it, there you go. You have another option. So, last story, biggest story of the week that people have a lot of strong feelings about, and that is Capital One. The Venture X is probably the last annual fee card remaining that you look at it and you're like, yep, that's really easy to get your value. I'd probably put the Hilton Aspire in there with that still, even with the fee, but the Venture X is a layup card still at $395. Well, you know how these things go. They sent out an email to cardholders saying, hey, we are pulling guest access or making it harder to get guest access on your card. It's no longer going to be free. So we'll take a look at this, and it does apply to the personal and the business card. So primary card holders will have to pay $125 per additional card holder. So that basically what they're saying is, if I was going to give you an authorized user card, originally that would get you an authorized user card. It's got all the perks of the main card, and like the credits were shared from a pool. But now if I wanted one authorized user, I want them to have lounge access, I'd have to pay $125 annually for them to get into the lounge. That also includes Priority Pass and Capital One landings. Now, you can no longer bring 2 guests into the Priority Pass Lounge for free. You do get a, quote, discounted rate of $35 per visit. You can no longer bring 2 guests into the Capital One Lounges for free unless you spend $75,000 in a calendar year. You do continue to receive discounted pricing, as they say, $45 per guest per visit, and a new discounted rate of $25 per visit for guests for those 17 and under 2 years old remains free. The business card, we do cover the business card because they did have a large intro offer, so some of you may have that. It's really more of the same, so it's actually the exact same now I'm looking at it, so I'll leave it up there. So there you go. That is the big change, and that is, that change either means absolutely nothing to you if you just travel alone, you're a lonely loser like myself talking to themselves on a Saturday morning. It'll be Sunday when you're watching this. These taped on Saturday. Or it means everything to you because you travel with yourself and a girlfriend or a wife or 2 kids or what have you. Any combination of you and 1 or 2 other people, this probably really hurts. On one hand, I think they cited, hey, look, it's getting crowded because they are opening more lounges and they're in, major airports, DFW, somewhere in DC. I think they've got a few. Denver has one, I believe. So anyhow, what's the deal? So first of all, does this ruin the card? No, I don't really think it ruins the card. That would be a bit much, again, because they're not everywhere, and then it could either affect you greatly or not at all. I also, weirdly enough, don't think $125 per authorized user is crazy, but I think it just still highlights the existing problem that these credit card companies have created and these lounge operators have created. We saw for the first, 3 years of the card, 4 years of the card, how long it's been around, it's the best value. Now, the concern I think I would have is it taking the trend of the Sapphire Reserve where, another year or two, when we're talking about a higher annual fee and it's no longer, that layup card that you can recommend anymore. I take more issue with it because it's kind of really like an impact on the user experience. I would say, because again, you're usually either traveling for business or work, which is fine. Usually you are by yourself or you're with your team, or you're traveling with someone else. I don't think that many people travel alone. And so the user experience that I could pay $395, basically $400, and I can't bring in a person, even though I'm always with a person usually, or most of you normal people are anyways. I think that's a problem. And obviously the credit card companies like, hey, well, they're not my customer. You're my customer. Like, yeah, but it reminded me a lot of, like Apple made the AirPods Max and they didn't put a headphone jack on them and they don't ship the cable, the 3.5 millimeter cable with them. And you're like, yeah, I get you don't like headphones, but in some case, like that's just one of the biggest use cases for them is plugging them into the back of airline entertainment systems, and you sell them the cable for $40 extra is insane. This is kind of the same thing. Like I feel like at some point, if you want to be in the, and this applies to all these guys, not just Capital One, if you want to be in this game, then like part of it is people travel together. I understand you would want someone to, you want to sell as many cards as you can. Again, I don't think 125 is unreasonable, but that's one of the biggest use cases. So if you wanted to move from unlimited passes to a few passes per year, even, I think that would potentially be a compromise, because then you're saying, well, no, we don't need to go to lounge all the time. But this is just unfortunately one of those trends, and I think when the others do it, it gives them an easier pass to do it. Much like Southwest has an easier pass to like, hey, we're upending our program because United, American, and Delta have done this forever, so why wouldn't we just do it too? Same thing with the headphone jack on phones. Everyone does it. No power brick in the phone box. Everyone does it now. When the big guys do it, it gives everyone else a free pass to do it. So I'm trying to put myself in other people's shoes of like, hey, if I was literally traveling with someone else, what would I do? For the time being, I guess the thing you're weighing is like, does it make sense to you? For year number one, sure, get your own Capital One Venture X card to get the intro offer, but then to keep it, if you use everything, you can still come out ahead by like $5 or something like that, I think it is. So it's plausible for now that you could get your own if you really wanted to. The $125, I guess the only reason I'm better with the $125 because it's still easier than $75,000 to spend, which is probably egregious. It's not great, and I don't really know if there's a solution for it for these lounges overcrowding. They've sold access all over the place, and they don't really seem to have a solution but push these cards farther upscale but still want to sell them. So again, I don't think it ruins a card by any means. I do think it's a big blow. If it affects you, then it really does affect you. Unfortunately, I don't think I'd cancel it. I think for right now, I wouldn't want to say stick it to them because I don't think you're really sticking it to them. But I would look at playing if I have the card, then I have this mythical girlfriend who goes to another school, guys. You don't know her, just goes to another school. But anyways, get her the Venture X in 1 year, and that's fine. She's got the intro offer. And then the next year, if they haven't changed the fees, I would look at getting the Venture X business card as well and just play that game. So you're looking at, yes, the Venture X business is a much larger amount to spend, but if you plan it out, you could probably do some damage with it. So if you play that game, you could probably still extend this by 2 more years, and by then we'll know what they're going to do with the card. You yourself could get the Venture X business as well, or something like that if you wanted to, and then cancel that one, and then they would have their Venture X personal. You got options. That's probably how I would look to play it. Don't love the change. Don't hate the change. But also the last thing I'll say is I don't know if I don't hate the change because we start to become desensitized to this because it becomes the norm. But at some point I do think these guys, they've made a problem. They don't quite know how to fix it. And they're starting to punish people who are traveling or using these products in the confines of a normal use case, i.e. wanting the 3.5 millimeter cable to plug into the back of the headrest. Entertainment system, that's a use case. Why are you punishing customers who have no control over how infotainment is set up on planes, right? They're not I know some new ones are switching to Bluetooth, but even then, it's a bit much, right? That's kind of where I think we're at. The user experience is really under assault here, and I get it's a problem, but I think we've gone too far, and they've got to figure out other ways. But then the other ways would probably be just to increase the fee, which would make other people unhappy as well. So passes might be the answer, and just, hey, when you need them, you have them type thing. That's my thought. I don't know. I don't have a better solution, but let me know down below if you're a Venture X card holder what you think about this. Does it actually ruin the card? Am I underestimating? I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, but maybe my shirt's just too tight. I don't know. Anyways, guys, that'll do for the news. So, of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. So we're posting content just like this every single week. And, of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And, of course, every single day over on ProfitfulContent.com. which is the channel's blog. It's always linked down below for you, and on the channel homepage. We have the latest news stories like all of these. We have plenty of bank account offers, just like Capital One. I believe we have one of those. And credit card offers, where I know we have the Venture X and the Venture X business. If you want to get started on your revenge tour, well, start over there. We would appreciate it. But anyways, guys, that'll do it for this one. As always, thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon this week.